As you're shopping for and trying to decide on your Leatherman multi-tool, one of the things I recommend you pay close attention to is the size and effectiveness of the scissors that do or do not come with that Leatherman multi-tool. Hey guys, I'm the Late Boy Scout, and this is a comprehensive scissor comparison video for Leatherman multi-tools. Before I get into it, let's ask the question, why? Why do we need to compare scissors? What's so important about scissors that we actually lay a whole bunch of them out, compare sizes, do a bunch of cutting tests like I'm about to do, put together this exhaustive video that's going to cover so much? Why should we even do that? I mean, what's so great about scissors? I mean, can't we get basically any and all cutting done with your knife, your everyday carry knife, the Vapor 2 being the one that I've got in my hand right now? Yeah, you can get a heck of a lot of cutting done with your knife, but I think you'll agree, if you think about it for a minute, that there are a number of tasks in which scissors are both more effective, more efficient, and safer than a knife. Okay? I don't want to waste time talking about anything and everything you might cut with a pair of scissors, so let's just get into it. Let's start doing a little bit of size comparison. Before we do that, we're going to have to eliminate a few of these. The Wave and the Charge have identical scissors. Okay? That being the case, we're going to take the Wave out of this game and let the Charge represent. The Style CS and the Squirt S4 have identical scissors. Squirt S4 is also discontinued, so another reason why we're going to take the Squirt S4 out of the game. The Micra, as far as the size is concerned, they're basically the same scissor. With that in mind, I'm going to go ahead and pull the Micra out of the game as well and let the Style play for him. What we're left with now are 5 Leatherman multi-tools. The Surge, which has a pair of scissors that does not appear on any other Leatherman multi-tool, to my knowledge. The Juice S2, whose scissors appear on a good portion of the entire Juice line. So this is going to represent all of the Juice multi-tools. And the Leatherman Style, which these scissors actually appear on the new Squirt PS4, which has pliers and scissors. These identical scissors appear on that. Okay? So, I think I've established now that the scissors we're looking at right now are representative of everything that Leatherman has to offer scissors-wise. Okay, good to know. Bring out the ruler, and let's do some measuring. Okay, Juice S2. Let's span that. See what that comes to. Nearly 2.5 inches. It's a pretty good span on the Juice S2. Okay, next. Charge. Right around, let's hold it this way. Awkward. Right around 1 3/4 inch. Okay, good. And the Surge comes in right around 2 inches. Just about 2 inches. Okay. The Style, which does not actually open up in any kind of spanning manner. We're going to go ahead and call that 2 inches, since each blade is about 1 inch. Each blade is about 1 inch. So we're going to call that 2 inches. And the Style, yeah, that was the Style CS. And the Style spans around 1.5. So now we've got all the different sizes knocked out. Let's go ahead and get into some cutting tests. Start with what? How about some newsprint? This is about as thin as paper gets, as thin and flimsy as it gets. And as expected, the Style has no problem cutting straight through it. Does just fine. And the Style CS. Again, feels like butter. This one's a lot more comfortable though. This one, and I really feel like the, sort of the torque to effort ratio is very nice. You get a lot of power for the amount of squeezing you do. The Juice S2, see that newsprint? Does fine, but I'll tell you what, it doesn't feel quite as nice and as powerful as these ones do. Onto the Charge. Boy, those scissors are small. They are small and a little bit awkward, to be honest. But they get the job done. Is it better to do it this way, by the way? Let's try that and just see. Yeah, it's slightly better doing it this way. I'm doing it this way right now, but the way I had it before was like this. This is more awkward. That feels more awkward than this does. Okay, good data point. And try to use the same methodology with the surge. Give that a go. A very large, robust pair of scissors on the surge. Very nice. Size-wise, they really don't seem, when you actually compare them though, they really don't seem that different from the Style CS, do they? Not really when you compare them side by side. Something to think about. On to, this is a shop towel. Why am I doing a shop towel? Shop towel is kind of thick, but it's also kind of flimsy. Okay, it doesn't really support itself. The way that the paper in here is kind of ground up so fine that there's no real grain in it. There's not really a grain direction to something like this. It lends itself to the strength that a shop towel has, but also it makes it a bit more fabric-y than actual papery, if that's a word. And we're beginning with the Leatherman Style. And what I'm discovering as I'm cutting through this is that if I go all the way to the hilt like this, well, that was alright, but some of the time it felt like it kind of wanted to fold the paper instead of cut it. There, just there. It just did it. It just sort of folded down on that instead of actually cutting it. Okay, well, little data point there. Again, very, very small scissors, so the amount of, not efficient. You're not getting a lot of cutting done per stroke. All right, tired of that. Onto the Style CS. And once again, it feels beefier than it is, this scissor. It feels beefier and tougher than it, well, it feels beefier, but it's very, very tough and effective for its size. I like that one a lot. The Juice S2 does fine. Has some micro serrations at the tip of the scissor, which I actually find to be kind of slowing things down in most cutting. I'll go ahead and point those out to you here. You can see at the very, very tip of that blade, sort of micro serrations there. Yeah, you'll find that on any of the Juice scissors. And I find that to kind of slow me down more than help me out. Your opinion might be different there, but that's my feeling anyway. Onto the Charge, also cutting the shop towel, and it seems to also be doing that sort of almost foldy thing that the Style was doing. Yeah, almost doing a sort of foldy thing. Yeah, just did it. Sort of folding the material rather than actually cutting it. If you were actually cutting through fabric, I expected that would happen a lot more frequently. We'll see. We'll see as the cutting test continues. Okay, good enough. On to the Surge. Okay, these are tough shears here. And they do a fantastic job, it looks like. As good as the Style CS, which is my favorite so far. About as good. About as good. Not quite as ergonomic, I don't know. Something about them, still don't like them quite as much as I like the Style CS. Okay, it's just my perspective here. All right, on to a paper bag. By paper bag, I mean the type of bag you would get when they say paper or plastic, and you say paper, they give you this, okay? That's what this is. Starting off with the Leatherman Style. Again, so small that it's, it takes a long time to get through some of this stuff, but it gets through it just fine. It's just time consuming, okay? That was the Style. On to the Style CS. Again, my favorite so far. Just plows through that. This is going to be representative, again, of this scissor here and probably this scissor here. And to the Juice S2. Let's start from here instead. Okay, that feels nice. Pretty nice. Cool. like that. And the charge, small scissor. But I think, you know, it's probably tough for its size, but size is an issue when it comes to scissors, I think. You're going to get better cutting performance from a larger one. That's just how it is. Okay, yeah, you get the point. You get the point. Onto the serge. Cutting through all these various materials, because, you know, this is the stuff you're going to encounter on a daily basis. Households, other situations, whatever. All types of materials you're going to run into. Cardboard. Let's start with a little guy, or a little girl in this case. How's it going to do on some cardboard? Well, it's going to go slow is what it's going to do. Okay, it's getting through it, but this is certainly not the material I would like, or the scissors I would like to use to cut through this type of material. When you get to this point, it's just you don't really have anything to hold on to anymore because they're just kind of drowning in there. Okay, so it's almost darn near impossible, and this is kind of poking into my thumb in an uncomfortable way. All right, let's stop there. Good enough representation of what it does. And now to the Style CS. Better, definitely better. Still, cutting corrugate with a small pair of scissors like this is just kind of uncomfortable. It's just going to be, I'm pretty sure. Okay, onto the Juice S2. Let's get going into this. It's not too bad. Once again, I feel like those micro serrations sort of get more in the way than anything else because they're at the tip there, and that's where you've got the least power as you're cutting through material. You've got the most power down here, right at the fulcrum. But as you get out there to the edge of the blade, it's really difficult to get any cutting done out there. It's just, you know, physics. Onto the charge. Hey, that actually snaps through that pretty quickly. Something about the leverage there. Actually quite effective. Nice. I like that. Onto the serge. Very cool. What else have we got to cut through? How about a little bit of 550 cord? Just a little bit. Start with the style. And, okay. Took a couple strokes to get through the whole thing. Try that again. Two or three strokes. Not too bad. The Style CS. How's it do? Again, a couple strokes. A couple strokes to get through it. Let's do one more. Yeah, just a couple. The Juice S2. Basically one stroke. Again. Yep, pretty much just one stroke. The charge. Wants to fold in half. Wants to fold it in half rather than cut it. Look at that. Look at that, dude. That sucks. Alright, let's hold it and at sort of a... Let's give it a little more of an advantage here. Still takes 2 or 3 strokes. It doesn't want to go through it all the way. Yeah, that's not a very clean cut. Not a very clean cut with the charge. And with the serge. Pretty good. A couple strokes again. There's one. One again. Now here's something I really hate cutting through. How about some blister packaging? Let's try the Style. How's this thing going to do? Ow. Not that uncomfortable, but it's slow and yeah. Such a small pair of scissors gets very little cutting done per stroke. Very little per stroke. And it's quite uncomfortable the whole time. Style CS. It's better. Again, has something to do with all the leverage you've got in comparison to these other scissors. That's probably why this one feels so much better The leverage, you know, the handle. You know, you've got full handles on these scissors, whereas all these other ones, they're basically fingertip scissors. Okay, you've got full fingers going on here. So I feel like that's the reason why these ones are performing in a better way from my view. Juice S2, again, attacking the blister packaging. Oh, I had that upside down. We'll go this way. Okay, that's slower and more awkward than I thought. Ow, and actually uncomfortable on my thumb. Quite uncomfortable. It'll get through it, but there's some difficulty and quite a bit of patience. Okay, don't like that. It's uncomfortable. On to the charge. Basically, we're attacking two pieces of blister packaging here at once. It's doubled up. I don't know if you can see that. Attacking both sides of it at the same time. And the charge did a better job, in my view. It was more comfortable than the Juice S2 was. Let's try the Surge. Even more comfortable. As comfortable and effective as the Style CS? I don't think so. Let's give that one more go. No. Style CS is winning for me so far. That whole form factor. Style CS, Micra, Squirt S4, that whole form factor is winning for me so far. This is a cotton belt, around 1/4 inch thick. Okay, let's attack it from the bottom up. Leatherman style. How you gonna do here? Okay, it's getting there. It's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable again because you're putting a lot of pressure in one little spot on your thumb. Getting a little divot there. So it's uncomfortable. And again, you could probably turn it around and maybe get some cutting done, but I feel like thumb down, pushing down is probably the most effective way to use these scissors. And it's doing a combination of sort of folding. See that? Yeah, it's getting a little bit of material stuck in it right there at the fulcrum, so the pivot. So that's not really good performance. Can't expect good performance on such a small pair of scissors. Down to the Style CS. Good performance. That one's feeling pretty good. Not a lot of material getting stuck in there. Feeling pretty good. Good, like it. Okay, I'm expecting that the Juice S2 will be uncomfortable. Again, my thumb has already got a big divot in it. But let's go ahead and give this a go. It's going, but again, it seems like it only gets power right here at the fulcrum. As you get further out, it just doesn't want to do any work for you. That's my experience right now, anyway. Doesn't want to do any work for you out there at the end. In fact, if I'm pushing, yeah, that's just asking for pain in my thumb to do it that way. Okay, but it gets through it. And the charge. It's a more ergonomic thumb pad here, since that's bent over. It's more ergonomic than either the Style or the Juice scissors. And it's getting through it, but slowly. Slowly. It's kind of like the Style scissors, but with better ergonomics, a little more leverage behind it, but blade size and blade effectiveness is essentially the same. Okay, I'm getting a little gunk caught in there. Onto the charge. Sorry, the Surge. Yeah, that's shearing through it fairly well. Not a lot of uncomfortability either. Ergonomics are not too bad with that little rubber pad that's on there, Helps out a lot. What would this kind of cutting test be if we didn't bring in some leather? Nice leather belt. You know, nearly 1/4 of an inch thick. Quite nearly. And let's see how the Leatherman style handles it. Ooh, ow, that hurts. Again, really digging into that divot in my thumb. Ouch. It's cutting it, as you can see. It's getting through it. But it's uncomfortable. I think this would be uncomfortable even with a fresh thumb, because that's just some thick material and a very, very small pair of scissors. But again, it is getting through, just quite uncomfortably. On to the Style CS. Let's go ahead and cut between the holes here. And it's going, but you can get more leverage with these scissors because you can really squeeze them. You know what I'm saying? You can really get a hold of these things. Ow. Still though, sharp edges all over the place. And it's getting through them, but it's leather. What can you say? Okay, well, it made it. Juice S2, what you gonna do for us? Cause me a lot of pain, that's what. And it may be done, actually. It doesn't really want to go any further. Come on now. No, it does not want to go any further. It's amazing. It's done. Let's start a new one and see if it does any better. No, it does not doing any better. That is all the cutting it's willing to do. It'll make a little notch. After that, I don't know if it's just lack of leverage or what. I think it is just lack of leverage. It just does not want to go through there any further. Okay. Now let's move on to the charge. Holy crap! Did you see that? Tiny little scissors just plowed through that. I gotta repeat that. Wow. Charge is dominating the leather. Good job, Charge. Let's see how the Surge does. Also dominating. One more, just to be sure. Wow. Nice job, Charge. Again, I feel like the effectiveness of the scissors that you have on your multi-tool, on your Leatherman or other multi-tool, is important because a lot of everyday tasks will call for scissors before they call for a knife. And if you try to attack it with a knife, well, you just might hurt yourself. I mean, think about all of the daily tasks that you encounter and that you take on, and I think you'll agree, a lot of them are better handled by scissors than by a nice big knife. They just are. So there you go, guys. There's my fairly comprehensive Leatherman scissors compared video. Thanks for watching. It's been a long one, but I think these are some good data points as you're shopping for your Leatherman tool and as you're thinking about what's going to work for you and what kind of cutting performance you can expect from what you get. I hope that this will help you out. I've been the Late Boy Scout. Thanks for watching. We'll see y'all later.